Today we'll be looking at the year in review. We'll be looking at the year 2020 in review, and we're going to be looking at now. As the year began, as I went into the supermarket, I started to see products supply update, and I'm like, something is going on. And then when we went into the aisle with the bleaches and stuff like that, they were saying that it was limited to 2 or maybe 3 per household. And then came March. When March came, we saw something that we've never experienced before. When March came, we started to go into the supermarket, and not only was there not the cleaning supplies were all gone, and not only were the cleaning supplies gone, there was no bleach. Well, here there was bleach, and then the prices started to, you could have gotten a bottle of bleach for like under $5. From then on, in the month of March, we started to see the empty shelves, just empty shelves after empty shelves after empty shelves. And the stuff that was on the shelf was the stuff that you didn't eat. The cereals and the stuff that was there was stuff that you really didn't eat. Empty shelves after empty shelves. This is a picture here was taken in the toilet paper section. There was no toilet paper. The toilet paper phenomenon just baffled me. And this is my friend's account of her going into, I think it was Trader Joe. She also experiencing the same thing. Empty shelves after empty shelves after empty shelves. A lot of empty shelves in Trader Joe. And the meat department. Let's talk about the meat department. The meat department was empty. When I say empty, it was empty. And this was her account of when she went into Trader Joe. There was nothing. And the things that you really wanted, they were all sold out. And these here are my pictures. I did ask my friend permission to share her video. And these are my pictures. This is in my neighborhood. The playgrounds were empty. When I say it was empty, it was empty. It was empty. My kids and I were in the playground, but that was basically it. There was no one else. I've heard stories of people saying that for 3 months, when we had the lockdown from March, April, and May, I think it was May too, many kids did not go outside. I've seen on Facebook, this little boy committed suicide, but I just think that's one in many children committed suicide this year. For the fact that, just think if you are an only child in a house with no one to play with, and your parents were essential workers, you were all by yourself. So this is the playground yet again, just empty, empty. Now we're going to move on to the basketball court, empty. Even now when you go outside, there's literally no one there's no one in the playground. Even the weather was acting up. The weather was, I think it was a tornado was passing through. Even the weather was acting up. And I just want to say, if we think 2020 was a year, it's going to get even worse. We're going to see Bible prophecy just coming to pass more and more. Like the Bible said, a lot of people, probably passed away from just fear of the unknown. I used to watch the news, and last year I just had to stop. 5 minutes of the news and I got angry. 5 minutes of the news and I just got angry. My spirit got so angry. All they were showing you just made me angry. So I had to eat. I had to stop. Basically, I've stopped watching the news. Like if someone calls and said, did you see what happened? And then I will look at the news. But I had to stop because the news was it just makes you angry. And it feeds, it feeds you. And then when you're finished, you're going to be fearful. This here again was taken at Niagara Falls. Niagara Falls was empty. There was no one there. When I say there was no one, there was no one. I saw a man and a woman, but that was it. Empty. No one at Niagara Falls. And now we're going to be moving on. This is in, I think this is in Columbus, Ohio. Yet again, the streets were empty. No one on the streets. There was no one walking. Just empty, empty, empty. No one. Desolation after desolation. And if we think 2020 was bad, we ain't seen nothing yet, because Bible prophecy must come to pass. And what the Bible says is going to happen is going to happen, right? That's why we need to anchor ourselves in God. We need to anchor in God. We need to anchor in the things of God. I trust in that no one that was close to you passed away in 2020. At the ending of 2020, in November, from November the 28th to the 10th of December, I lost 3 people that passed away. But I thank God that, I'm alive, that we made it over. We crossed over into 2021. And I just thank God for each and every one of you. 2020 was bad in the sense of so many people passed away. Even Christmas, I spoke to a lot of Christians. People said they didn't feel the Christmas. Yes, many people said they didn't feel the Christmas spirit. But just to remind you that we need to anchor ourselves in God. And like no other time, we need to pray and seek God, because only God can do it for us in this year, in 2021. Only God and God alone can bring us through 2021.